Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's January, and we have returned. D20 Live is now once again doing streams for the whole 2 weeks we were off. Although technically we kept streaming and producing content in the meanwhile, so there's no such thing as a day off over here. I'm, of course, Big Mike, and today, in honor of the fact that we didn't go to MagFest, I'm giving you something from my own personal vault of creations, which was going to see the light of day significantly later, but apparently we're going to be doing it today. But this isn't about me and my story. This is about my players, and they can introduce themselves.
Hello!
Hey! Oh, I'm Beth. I'm going to be playing Silksea, a snow goblin today.
I'm Dom. I'm going to be playing Hema, a half-orc.
Female half-orc?
Female half-orc.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm going to be playing a female half-elf. Her name is Litriol.
And I'm Devin Koji. I'm at D20 Live, and I'm going to be playing Mac, the Dwarven Alchemist.
And today we will be playing the Pathfinder 2nd Edition playtest, which you all generously donated to us.
Thank you, fans.
So,
Legion.
here is our game. The center of the world of Angoriah is the nation of Horolath. In the very center of the nation of Horolath is Castle Utgar. The castle and the empire have stood here for centuries as, some would argue, the center of the world, since the great heroic paladin, Utgar himself, blessed with the divine light of the god of light, Sigmund, who is the god of light, law, and humanity, brought peace to these lands after an age of strife. Now, on this day, you look to the sky. And on this day, you look to the sky, and you see Sigmund in the stars, and he is dying. It is the climax of what people are calling a god war. You've heard stories from the other races that their own deities are now slain, yet these rumors cannot be substantiated, since the armies of hell sieged the mortal realm. Horolath, cut off from its allies, has fought a desperate war, a war fought with great honor, wherein heroes were born before being slain by the unending tide of evil of a united army of demons and devils. As you look to the sky, the god of men is locked in mortal combat with the same god of evil, Azegaroth. You watch as the god of evil brings his sword down across the chest of the god of light, causing a fresh gash of sunlight and immortal ichor to burst forth, one of the many he has suffered in this fight. You see the elvish wizard Garzol, Grand Mage of the Empire, the finest caster that has ever existed in history itself. He who studies the very root of magic, ancient and wise beyond measure. And he comes up to you four. Come with me. Hurry! Hurry, we don't have much time. Now, the castle of Utgar is massive in scale. Constructed, as I said, centuries ago. It was built specifically so that people could hear the god of men, Sigmund. The idea is at the very top there's a huge white tower, and if you're at the very top you can just barely hear his voice. A little better, of course, if you're a cleric or a paladin of him, respectively. But over the centuries, the castle's been built bigger and bigger and higher and higher. It's now several dozen stories and high. The tower itself has also been expanded to match that, so that is, of course, the highest point of the castle, as it is still a large religious castle city-state. But he's not taking you to the top. He's taking you down into the bowels of the castle. And as you start going in and out of the various catacombs and honeycombs of passageways that must make up this castle of something that's been built up over the strata of different years, you can still see the battle happening outside. There are hordes of demons sieging the castle gates, and various warriors, your commanders, your leaders, fighting back with siege warfare, and people are dying left, right, and center. And Lord Jesus Crust is hosting us. Thank you, Lord Jesus Crust. Now back to the thing. That's a good system, Sam. As you follow the wizard through the castle, you see the blade of evil cut deep, causing Sigmund to fall to one knee. As he does, he brings his blade up and cuts across the neck of the god of evil, causing his head to fly free from his body. For a moment, on the battlement, you can hear silence and then an eruption of cheers and glory. You've won! Yay! Then Sigmund lowers his head, begins to fade. And each person of human ancestry feels this incredible sorrow within their hearts, but it's not their own sorrow. And they hear two simple words. I'm sorry. Sigmund fades. Garzol does not hesitate and takes you deep into the castle basement, guiding you to a set of double doors. In here, quickly. You rush inside and see a huddle of people. Peasants, tradesmen, servants who've worked within the castle itself, all cowering in fear. As you turn to look at Garzal, you see him close the doors.
Your microphone.
May you wake up in a better world. Now, what do?
What happens?
You don't. Everything seems fine. The door's just closed.
Okay.
Like, guys, what's going on?
Well, you've been at war for the past 5 years against enemy nations, and Jack of Many Names is hosting us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know we're like the war and all, but like, what are we doing here?
I'm pretty sure a god just died.
A god.
Yeah.
2, actually.
One we care about, the
Exactly.
other...
We don't like the other one.
Right.
I look around for the death of both of them because we hate his guts and we want him to die. Our god, we want to live though.
Are you making a Valley Girl paladin today?
Like totally.
The best intro I've ever done in my life. You sack of shit.
Followed up immediately by.
So, does anyone want to just look around and inspect the
Do
area?
Yeah.
I recognize? So these are all peasants. and-
Peasants, tradesmen.
Do I recognize any of the tradesmen?
Not offhand. It's a huge. It was a huge city.
Yeah. Okay.
13.
Dom, there's light coming from under the door. It's weird. One, this should be in the very basement of the castle, and two, it was nighttime.
I try and like peek under the door.
You can see little feet scurrying back and forth.
Can I just open the door?
Sure.
Now you're gonna open the door.
All right. You open the door to see daylight. 4 goblins seem to be working at the stone of what appears to be a hollowed-out ruined chamber. The stonework matches that of the castle, but is extremely weathered, and there's a large open passage that's been dug out, exposing what should be an underground area to sunlight. They look at you with surprise.
You got this.
I'm looking around
And this should be a multi-story castle above you.
Does the surrounding area look?
Like someone's been excavating stone.
Okay, so it's the same area. It's just the actual castles.
Yeah.
Gone.
Gone.
And it's
Okay.
just a single tunnel passage.
That's been digging up to open air.
I look behind me at the people that are in there.
They're still there.
Still there?
All of you stay here. Stay quiet. We got this. And I turn back. And I turn back to Lexi. You got this. You go talk to them.
I fucking said that.
I know I'm repeating it.
Thank you.
Like,
Sounds
I
like
can't
I know
even
what
deal
you're
with this
doing.
right now. Let's just go.
I just casually walk up to one of the goblins and hey guys, what's up?
Okay, so here's the community. You're just like, where the hell did you steal those nice clothes?
What's going on? Where's the castle? Was there a castle here?
Is there? Ah!
Was there?
Dude, she's working with the biggies. The biggies. She's working with the biggies. Fight her!
You might want to bring out your instruments.
Okay.
Did you want to make a charisma, or a bluff or a diplomacy roll to kind of stop this from going sideways?
Yeah, actually, let's make a.
And Beth?
Yeah.
From your perspective, yes, goblins are normally considered a very thievy, scoury kind of race, but in the past few years, they've been trying to kind of build themselves up and have a culture and a bit of a more refinement for them. It's just like looking into the past almost. It's like their clothes are tattered and torn. They have very, very poor, the old-fashioned poor blades.
Yeah.
So, and they're talking exactly like how you've been told. Not too long ago, goblins used to talk.
Okay. Let's just calm down here. And
Make a diplomacy roll.
Let's just calm down and talk it out. I got 13.
Let's see what a goblin has for diplomacy. This may be very short.
13. That wasn't right at all. 15. No.
15.
16. I just can't count.
Cool. Oh, that's gonna be the only time you ever fail a diplomacy roll.
Oh boy.
Ever. That was weird.
I'm
The
turning.
boss is gonna get at us. You don't understand. This is what they're saying. The boss is gonna get at us. Get him. And they're drawing their weapons on all of you.
I pull out one of my vials and hold it in front of them. Tell them that this will make them hurt a great deal. And I start swirling around as flames start licking inside of a glass bottle. Don't move.
I can totally Let's steal that.
What do they say?
They're gonna try to steal it.
Can I assist with this intimidation?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And just
Yeah, I'll aid the intimidation there. It's really not intimidating.
Go ahead.
So,
take a stab.
Make an intimidation roll.
Am I also rolling?
well, you're rolling with it with me, so that's I rolled a 9.
Is that cocked? Is that like kind of on its side?
Not really.
No, sorry. No.
Good
That's
job.
a 2.
That's with my modifier, it's a 5.
They are not in any way intimidated, and they just open up, and they're goblins, and much like most Pathfinder goblins, they have the rows of jagged ass teeth. They just go, as you're just pounding your hand at them, they just look at you, smile, and just yank their jaws open, go ah, and let's roll for initiative.
Okay.
Yep.
Much better roll. Okay.
Where the hell is initiative on this fight?
Yeah.
It's perception.
Oh,
That's initiative?
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
22.
60.
That's not entirely accurate. So you tell us
Yeah.
what is open to us. So if we were to sneak, base is perception.
No, it's
If
just
we were
open
to
fight. It's
sneak
open
in-
fighting.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be one of 5 or 6 different things,
Okay.
Oh, that's
depending on the
weird.
situation. So
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that way.
Yeah.
So people with high stealth can go first in a stealth.
Which would make sense,
if
yeah.
they stealthed in.
Yeah.
But no, this is just straight fighting. So perception?
I got. Oh, where's my? See, I run this for you guys, but I don't actually know where the. There it is. 9.
Looking at the sheet ahead of time helps.
It does. Yeah, it does. I have stacked.
I
blocks
got
on mine.
a 16.
Not sure if it grants me any bonuses. I rolled a natural 20, but with my perception, it's 22.
That means you're going first.
Yeah.
I got 13.
Dom, you're going first. Just by sheer raw roll, really. So,
Okay, how far away are they?
they're, I'd say about less than 30 feet away from the door itself. They're each armed with dog slicers, just simple rags, not even,
How many are there?
and short bows. There are 4 of them.
There are 4 of them. I run up to the nearest one,
Yeah.
and I take my tiger stance. And I'm going to do a flurry of
I
blows.
just did this mental picture of you just going. Sorry, not to demean any of your experience as a gamer. Just like
I
it's
want
just
it
a
to be really adorable, though. Even though you're like a half orc and you're kind of scary, I want to be like.
Very large.
And I take a flurry of blows.
Go ahead.
So it's 2 attacks.
The half orc.
That is a 13 for the first one and a 17 for the second one.
Both of those will hit.
Both of those will hit.
Okay.
Okay, so that will be a D.
By how
2D,
much?
2D8.
Is it 10 more than the DC?
No.
Because that's actually how
I know,
it
I
is
would have
worked.
said that one.
No,
Okay.
no. I'm also letting other people know.
Yes. Explain to the audience then.
Yes. So if you you get a critical if you roll 10 greater than the DC. So it's no longer just a natural 20. Any roll that's good enough will get you will be a critical.
You have to roll to confirm that, or is it just an automatic critical?
No, automatic.
Automatic.
Do I add anything to my damage besides my
Strength.
damage?
Strength
Strength.
bonus.
Well, for this it's finesse. So would it
Oh,
be
it's your dex bonus.
Yeah. Okay. So 5, 6, 7, and then 4 for each of those. So plus 8, 7 plus 8 is
7 plus 8?
15.
7
Oh,
plus
yeah.
8. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
15.
15.
Yeah. 15 damage to first goblin.
Cool. First goblin's been damaged for 15. Next in the, you're out of actions, right?
Yeah.
3.
I'm out of actions.
That is your go.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get ready to fight. I'm prepared.
Do your jig! Do your
I'm
jig!
ready. So I pull my maracas.
Yes?
And I'm going to use
love it.
Someone should.
So
I'm sure the
you're
fans are.
I hope so.
There.
Are they loving it?
there. You said they're 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use electric arc
Yeah.
on 2 of the goblins, and
Lightning comes out of the maracas.
Just rubbing them together to create
Rubbing them
static.
together to create static.
It's gonna be all our audio problems fixed. The engineers are like, put down the maracas.
I'll try to be quiet with them. Sorry, so that's... Do I get a modifier on that to hit?
Your proficiency bonus, which is your level, and then your strength bonus, unless it's a shooting attack.
It is...
If it's a ranged attack, it's 2 dex.
Yeah, it would be a ranged attack.
Yep, so proficiency and
Okay,
dex.
proficiency and dex. So... So we got a 11, and... No, I can't count. An 11 and a 12.
Hit?
Yeah.
This is touch or is this normal?
Oh, no, this is normal.
Okay, then neither of those will hit.
Damn it. Well, at least I look cool while doing it.
The static shock releases in your face.
Top, sure go.
Ready? Go.
Yeah.
Okay. So Litriol calls upon her god. What did we agree the name was again?
Oh, I have it right here. The goddess of the elves, Valeria. Now, Tom, as you do, there's almost this sickening feeling when you try to reach out to her. If there's this great absence in your heart. Okay. Will save.
Oh. Uh-oh. Crap.
First roll again. I am a mighty paladin. Paladin? Oh.
Paladon?
Paladon.
Paladon.
9.
Okay. Total?
Total.
Roll again. I need you to make this roll.
If you fail, you drop down. Roll your character.
Natural 20.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Exactly the roll I need you to get. So you feel lost. You feel disconnected, especially the second those doors closed. It was like a weird snap for you, and you felt disconnected from your goddess. And when they opened up, it just kind of confirmed everything. That feeling of absence, of loss that you haven't felt since you first became a paladin. And as you concentrate your will on the image of your goddess, you can feel your divine powers coming back.
I was going to say I couldn't even, but I can. Hurling stone?
May I have a pillow? I'll take that pillow, please. Someone pass me that pillow.
Is that going to get wrapped around my face?
No, I'm going to scream into it.
Oh, okay.
Want this pillow?
Don't throw anything. Just don't throw anything. Just don't throw it. Just roll it. Just roll it. Just pass it here. Just pass it here. Cool. Thank you. Need that a lot today. Okay.
Okay, I'm making a ranged touch attack.
Go ahead.
15 hit.
Okay, go back to my...
Sorry, ranged attack. A ranged attack against the furthest goblin away.
You're good.
Okay, that is... I'm hurling a huge chunk of stone at him. He's taking 1d10 plus my strength.
Okay. That's a thing you got?
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Yes, it is. Take 10 damage.
Cool.
All right, guys. I'm gonna now rush in and kill some guys. For my second action, I move up to one of the goblins. Probably the same one. Because are they all within 30 feet? Can I
Yeah, they were all just in a semicircle.
Oh, okay. So then I'll approach the one that he was fighting, just to try and finish it off.
Cool.
So I'm rolling my.
Oh shit! You guys killed 2 of them.
Oh!
I was gonna say they're really beefy goblins.
Yeah, because like they gotta have more than 10 HP. No, they don't. No, they just went.
Okay, so I slashed mine up.
Yeah, you slashed yours up pretty well, and Tom, you just went through a rock and it just went smudge.
Okay, so then I run up to a third one, and I attack it with my bastard sword.
Okay, so you're gonna take the -2 penalty for that, right?
It's -5.
The -5?
Sorry, what?
He's moving.
Strikes.
He attacked. He's moving, which is his second action. His third action is to attack again.
It's a -5.
-5, yeah.
Yeah, it's -5. They make it pretty severe because they give you 3 actions. Natural 20.
Woo!
-5, which is 15.
-5, plus my proficiency, which is 5.
Still hit.
But
natural 20 doesn't matter for attack modifiers.
I know, but the AC is a 14.
You still hit.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah.
hit.
Now, according to the rules, is that still a critical for natural 20s or no?
Yes.
Still.
It doesn't matter what his AC is. His AC would be 76.
Awesome.
So still hit.
I need
It just, but if it doesn't beat his AC, it's not a critical.
it's just a regular hit. Okay. So that doubles my damage. So now I get 2d12 plus double my
You
strength.
critical hit a god in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Holy crap.
You hit him.
Damage will be a much different story.
Exactly.
21 damage.
Cool. That's another goblin dead.
One left.
Is that my phone? All right, so there's one left. It's now the goblin's turn, so it's just like
One left.
I look over at it and I say, "What?"
it's running off, and it turns to book it. Now Devin's turn.
Yeah. Let it go. I'm looking at you. Let it go. You're the only one I can tolerate.
Yeah, oh yeah, the so fits in 6 seconds.
What this? You can talk.
Yeah, I know.
Take it out. Take it out.
Okay, I pull up the bomb that I already have. I snap the little piece of rope that's at the end of it. I bite it between my teeth to create a spark.
Oh my God.
And I throw it across the down the cave. Alchemist fire.
Because this has happened before, I just cover up.
That
stand
is.
behind you.
Where's my attack?
I take a quick half turn, so I'm facing away from.
Why? Because cool girls don't look at explosions.
Cling
Cool
onto
girls.
your back, so that I'm fully covered.
12.
Hit?
Yeah.
Miss.
Ah, damn.
Oh.
Like, roll so the fire hits against stone. It ignites in a small 5-foot area.
And
it
launches
bursts
the
into flame.
and launches the goblin off to a course like. Ah!
Damn.
Top of the round. It is currently Dom's. Dom, you can chase after. If you want.
Get off my back!
Get off her back.
How far away?
About 60 feet. You can make it in 2 rounds and still get an attack.
Actually, sorry.
Sorry, 2. You can get it in 2 move actions and still have an attack. That's what I was trying to
Splash damage, 1 automatic damage.
say. Okay.
I missed the direct hit.
And I'm still in my tiger stance. Yeah, sure. I'll double move and I'll take an attack. Flurry of blows.
Yep.
For moving twice, do I get a penalty?
No.
-2 at the most. I'm not sure. I don't think you do now.
No.
We can check. Wrong.
DM's call.
DM's call. We'll check.
No, I don't
that
care.
is
It's
a-
dynamic action. I don't care. If we
Yeah.
find out properly,
An 11 and a 16.
the 16 will hit.
The 16 will hit. Okay, so that's 1d8.
Just checking to see what the
7 damage.
Got him.
Nice.
Basically, you break down with your claws because I didn't describe it last time because I didn't realize you were killing the goblin. So effectively, and just 4 claw marks. It's very Fist of the North Star. Slashes down, it just splits and dies.
Delicious.
To some.
Yes.
I like that the goblin's saying that. So, you all have a
Goblin
couple.
would say that.
I reach into its mouth and I pull out a tooth.
Oh.
Okay.
I take it over. Do you want this?
Yeah. I grab it and I just shove it in a bag.
Okay. So, talk amongst yourselves. You've successfully completed your first combat.
Well, before anything else, like we're outside of the mouth of the cave that was being.
No, it hadn't reached the mouth of the cave
It
yet.
hadn't reached the mouth yet, but it was still like outside, or
No.
there was just
Okay.
It's just in the cave.
So,
Okay.
what would have been the basement of the castle, which is now clearly, well, make a perception roll because I need to explain what you're actually seeing.
17.
5.
Ooh, 19.
21 with dark
Anyone who
vision,
got
by
over
the way.
15, this
With
is, what,
dark
this is
vision,
the
by the
thing.
way.
You see, it looks like the stone is now very badly weathered. Looks like you can clearly see the signs of tool marks, cheap tool marks, of people who have pulled stone that was here, because this used to be the foundation of the castle. You were in the bottom room of the castle.
Yeah.
And it's been pulled, it's been quarried, not properly, and excavated from around the area. As such, there's this huge, well-dug, well-trod trench that leads out to open air, basically, leading up from the lowest level of the castle. It looks like there was a series of stones that were hidden among the flagstones of the castle that had different runes on them, and some of them have been pried up. And they're around the door, which leads to the hundred some odd people that are with you.
We should go inspect outside before we let these people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
entirely.
Who's
I
still
turn back to the door, or turn back to the group. Are any of you here part of the what was the kingdom's name again? Horlath. Are any of you here, aside from the four of us, part of the Horlath military? Are you all citizens?
One guy puts his hand up. I'm a cleric.
Hey, what's your name?
Craig.
Craig, right.
I mean, like, I'm a local cleric. I had a small village. You know?
So, right, until
and 10 guys put their hands up. We were just hunter-trappers. Does that count?
actually, that will work. But until we get back, Craig?
Yeah.
Right, Craig, you're in charge until we get back.
I don't think my powers work anymore.
Like they should. I mean, come on, give it a try.
Your powers
I was a
work.
cleric of Sigmund, and I think he died.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was like, I'm the paladin of the goddess of elves, and like my powers totally work.
I look Craig straight in the eye. Choose a new god.
Or just
Okay,
concentrate
just
a wee
chill.
bit.
I'll try that.
Just
Like,
concentrate.
take it down a few steps.
Focus, do whatever you churchy types do. Just,
If worse comes to worse, just bite them.
that works too. We'll be back. And I pull out another potion and grab a nearby. Is there a stick nearby or something? Piece of wood?
Stone and the dog slicers and the short bows.
Right. So I walk up to a stone and I pour a small vial out onto it and it starts to glow. And like since I look around mostly human.
Yeah.
Right. Keep this on you, and I drop it at the entrance to the cave so that they can actually see its light for about 15 feet. And like, right, keep that until we get back. Let's go.
So as you're heading up the trench, because it's the only way in and out of here,
Yeah.
it's just a big slope. You see what appears to be a goblin dog, kind of sniffing around,
I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
and what is clearly a hobgoblin following it.
All right, come on, you fucker. Let's find out what's keeping him so low. The fuck are you for?
We're your goblin friends. We found some.
Christ, you boys been on the roids.
We
Been
found
drinking some good stuff. And what the hell's going on?
Listen, I'm trying to explain.
No, you're not. You're a friggin' orc. You are half-orc.
We found some tricky magic.
What are you doing here? You should be in the wild, you are. You friggin' head. What's it like? That's the friggin' whitest dwarf I've ever seen in ages.
Hey, city dwarf, alright? I'm a cultured type.
There's no such thing as a city dwarf.
Well, you're looking at him now. You said whitest dwarf you've ever seen, haven't you?
Looking at you, Barney. Does anyone want to? You can either choose to go for diplomacy or to fight this guy as well.
I mean, I was trying to lie to him.
You weren't rolling for it though.
You wouldn't let me lie.
You say, Mike, I would like to roll to deceive him. And I'm like, oh, let's do that.
Well, I was trying to say the lie first. Yeah, I was trying to convince him that we found some tricky magic. And that we were his goblin friends.
Oh.
That's
Not
a 10.
Why do you have no sense motive, you giant pile of shit? Okay, cool. I got a raw 17. Fuck that game. Let's do this.
Okay.
Well, you detect the lie because he got a natural 11, so his roll was a 10.
Yeah. So, well, my charisma's -1. No, it's wisdom to sense motive.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So I have an 18 flat total. So.
No, you didn't. You're not wearing the right clothes. Also, the bodies are right there.
Well, this is degenerated badly from my original intent, but here we are. Now, do you want to try?
I don't think those are the maracas that might distract him. Just saying.
Okay. Did anyone want to try and intimidate him into submission? Because you are 4-on-1.
Now look. Right. We've dealt with them. They pissed us off. Namely, they pissed her off. I don't think you want to piss her off when she has 3 friends.
Roll intimidation.
Can we assist? And how's that work?
You need a 10 or higher with your intimidation roll, and only one of you can do it.
I'll do it. I have good intimidation.
It's a will save, right?
I smear.
Will save, yes.
Yeah. Okay,
I
that's the
smear
save.
some of the goblin blood across my face and then lick it off.
You'll
my
get a
lips.
+2 for that. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's 15.
Cool.
Is
your +2?
Right.
Screw it. You'll get the blood covered for an additional
Oh.
+2. So, Devin, you've got a +4. What'd you get?
7. Rolled a 3. Switching dice.
You tied,
Which means it goes to the attacker in the system.
which is you.
Yep. Yep. I'm like, you see that paint? It's not paint.
All right, sit down, you fucker. The hell you want? And where did you...
Looking at your armors.
We need answers.
And the
Who
dog.
are you?
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm just get...
Right. It's just like dealing with some river folk. Okay. What are you doing here? You
What
and your
river
dead
folk?
friends. Nothing you need to concern yourself about. Who are you people? Why are you here? God, this is.
There's this
not-
friggin' stone here. That's all that's here for this castle. Whatever it was.
Was?
Yeah. Is it... Oh,
Do you want to keep laughing, or do you like?
you from the empire that was here once,
How long ago?
like hundreds of years.
Oh.
Like you were all from that time with the god that died, right?
Mac, he's pissing me off.
I know. Okay. Hey. We need
Oh.
some information.
Guys don't even know about the sun.
Well, it's still daytime, so it's still there.
You guys want to check out the sun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Sigmund was also the god of the sun. And you remember, as you remember the sun, it was always very warm and comforting. The kind that would... You always had that emotional attachment, because I'm trying to explain how a god would paint the effect of the sun, basically. With Sigmund being the god of the sun, it was always this feeling of, it's here to help the farmers, it's here to help humanity. It will always rise, it will always set, and all of that. But the second you really think about the sun now, that mental image has changed. It's more like, much time as you have, until you have, until it goes down. Hope you don't die when it goes. The sun has changed.
But it's still there? Like,
It's
when
still
I
there. The
say-
sun
when
is
I
still
say
there.
It wasn't wrong. But,
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
But
different.
The, feeling that it gives
The emotional
us-
feeling
yeah.
you would get from the sun has now changed.
As a goblin, would I have gotten that original emotional feeling from it?
Yeah, well,
Oh.
yeah, because Sigmund's like, well, they're damaged people, but they try. You know, the way the Federation talks about the Ferengi. There you go. God, I wanted to laugh at it. They're damaged people, but they can be fixed.
Thanks, asshole.
We can human them a little. I didn't say Sigmund was... Well, I did say it was a good
Okay.
guy.
I take offense to that.
You can.
Listen, all we need is some information.
And the
I
dog.
need you to stop laughing, right? Because you're making her mad. So would you rather die being a smartass, or would you rather live?
If this was a private game, I'd be making so many off-color period jokes just to piss off the character. I'm not. But it's just where my head's going, and I want to take ownership of that. But we're going to move forward.
Or you can live and actually give us information.
I almost wanted to see what you boys are gonna find when you get out of here. And girls, sorry.
Right.
As you gonna wake up, you gonna expect I didn't even know what used to be back here.
Okay. Now.
I said he was a hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Now. You're just here, you're scavengers. That's it.
Telling you my job.
Right, okay. So, we're gonna presume you're scavengers. You're here because of what used to be here. So, I'm a man of trade. I'm a man of mercantilism. So everything that's on your person, save the clothing that's on you, you can drop at your feet and walk away. That's my trade.
And the dog, because she wants
And the
it.
dog.
Right, and the dog too. So my trade is you leave that, point us where the nearest city is, and in trade, you can walk away.
Problem with that. The nearest humanoid city.
He points now. Okay. Little additional detail of the region you're on.
Yes.
The castle used to be on a major river that would go through the nation and would empty out into the sea to the south.
Yeah.
He's pointing at that river. And you notice all of the old castle infrastructure and city that used to be right on that river is gone. It's just open plain.
So are we actually outside? Like
You're outside. You're completely outside, and you can see trees, light smattering of trees, but it's all open plain.
Which fits into my question of where, at the moment I look around for half a second, I see, oh, it's just wilderness. So where is the nearest city?
Well, we got tons of cities around here. But if you want one for your folk, go down the river and head south. And good luck, boys and girls. So many encampments you gotta get past.
Do they have dams set up?
Oh, damn, you mean like Fort River?
Yeah.
No. The bloody weird Sky Magus, she keeps blowing them up.
Right, anyway. Deal with that when it comes, I suppose. Alright. So,
Like, I
I
can't
have
even
no
right
idea.
now. This is so much.
it's alright, go sit down.
Okay.
Do you need me to punch you to make you feel better?
When does that make anyone feel better?
Come over here. I'm gonna start playing my maracas, just like.
Okay, I'll dance. Thank you.
Right. So, do we have a deal? You leave everything else other than your clothing. You definitely don't want that. And your dog. And you go.
Alright.
Drops. Okay, let's see what he's got equipment-wise. He has one longsword and one short bow with about 10 arrows on it. Let's see. Do you have any armor? Yes. But what is it? That is the question that is not being answered by the sheet. The leather armor. Oh, sorry. A heavy wooden shield. Yeah, he doesn't wear armor for some fucking reason. Longsword, short bow, 10 arrows. And you notice that the strap for his arrow quiver has a symbol on it. It's a symbol of what appears to be two bones crossing and fire surrounding it.
Fire pirates.
Do you recognize it?
Like, no.
I'm gonna take it. I want
Right.
shiny.
It's not shiny. It's made from like leather that's been dyed red.
I want
And
the
black.
pretty.
Okay, fine.
Right. Off you go.
Alright.
He immediately starts booking it down the river.
His name's You Fucker.
Oh, the dog you mean?
Yeah.
Is the dog on a leash?
No. Well, chain.
Come
Thank
here,
you
you
I'm gonna keep a very cautious eye on you, fucker.
So I immediately
So,
I immediately
Beth, make a handle animal check on you fucker.
and I immediately turn to Hema.
There's no handle animal. check.
So Hema.
Yeah, what would that?
Knowledge
what would that-
nature, I think.
Knowledge nature.
Survival.
Survival, yeah.
Survival?
Survival will do
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Got a 6.
You fucker is angry.
Ah!
You may have to sedate it somehow.
Do I? Well,
So you
I-
just see.
My deal
What's your
with
character's name again? Sorry, Beth.
What?
What's your character's name again?
Silksy.
Silksy, just like, come on, you fucker, and it's just dragging her along the ground.
right. So my deal is done with it. So you guys can do what you want. with
I
it.
go up to you, fucker, and I'm gonna make a knowledge nature check to see if I know how to handle it.
Recall knowledge.
That would be if survival 17.
Goblin dogs respond to food and being hit. As far as colloquially, as colloquial knowledge would tell you.
I'm going to grab it by the scruff, lift it up, which subsequently lifts her up.
Yeah.
just like hanging
You
by
just
the
see Silksy,
chain.
yeah, hanging by the chain beneath it,
I'm gonna growl at it, and I'm gonna do this.
and it behaves.
Plop it back down on the ground,
It will.
like this.
It's when you do it, it's quiet. When you do it, it just starts growling at you, and thus shall be the relationship for the duration of this
boy.
adventure.
Do we still have?
Stop
do we
it, you
still have,
fucker. Good, you fucker.
do we still have army rations?
Did you buy army rations?
But
Were there any army rations?
there any army
What was-
rations?
what's with those people?
yeah.
What's
Yeah,
in
let's
there?
say you have enough army rations for what you would need for several days' travel.
What are we gonna do with those people?
I don't know.
We're gonna get them.
The
to
game
next-
is open to you now. What do you want to do?
I think we need to get to the nearest human settlement, which is
the river.
get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. If there's a lot of monstrous encampments around here, it might be good to just mercy kill them. That was a joke.
Ha ha ha.
Are there forests around here? Like
No.
No?
'Cause there weren't forests back in your time either. This was all city and
There's all city and
farmland.
farmland, yeah.
But they're gone.
So
They've
it's
been-
just plains.
Yeah, plains now.
Okay.
Overgrown plains. You can kind of see the remnants of old farm territory that looks
Yeah.
like it was sectioned.
I was just more
nearby.
curious if there was something to make rafts out of so we could take the river, but if there's no forest nearby.
No.
Not for 100 people.
Yeah, no.
That was
100.
way too long.
I thought there was. I didn't know it was 100.
Like,
Okay.
imagining 50 rafts going down the just like a parade
A
of
trail and
rafts.
parade, yeah.
Just around, the just around, the just around.
Okay. Do you guys want to go back in? I'll stay out here and wait. Actually, who's good with talking to folk aside from me? I have diplomacy too.
Well, I can talk with them, but they usually don't like it.
Okay.
Like, maybe I should talk to them? I think I can calm them down.
Okay.
Wow. She's good at talking to people.
I have diplomacy
I mean, who
plus
isn't
5.
listening?
I have diplomacy plus 5, so good
Right.
job.
So let's. You'll take the lead. We'll
Yeah,
go
but
down
I'm-
there and.
They're saying
get
she
them
should
moving.
take the lead because
No,
she's got
she
diplomacy.
should, but I'll do it because it's funny.
Okay.
Okay, do it.
You'll take the
I'll
lead
follow,
and
though.
just tell the hunters to. We'll have some of them scout ahead and we'll move as a group.
As they leave, I pull Mac aside and I'm like, who says we really need to travel? We don't have a lot of resources around here, but there's a lot of stone that we could possibly build barricades with and hunker down these 100 people and just focus on building some sort of camp.
Agreed. Aye, but we're in the middle of enemy territory and who knows when they're going to be coming back. That might be the first part of a larger expedition.
Well, either way it's a risk, but what's
Yeah.
the more worthwhile one? Going defensive or
With this
bringing
many
all these
people.
people out in the open?
Right. Maybe
We have
send some-
one cleric.
Maybe send one of the hunters with the cleric down. No. Yeah.
It's better if we do the exploring.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone else can work on building something here so we have something to return to if shit goes sideways.
Right, because we don't know how far the settlement is.
Yeah.
It may
We don't
be
even
in-
know if we can get
Yeah,
there.
you do. He said it was down at the coast.
Yeah, but we don't know how far. Well, okay, we can make a presumption.
Well, no, because you know
based on our
your own
previous-
geography
yeah.
of your own nation. It's several days travel from here.
Oh god. Okay.
Like say 3 to 5,
Right.
depending on the number of people you have.
Okay. All right.
Because the geography didn't change.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard.
better if we go ahead. Yeah.
And unless we have some method of arming them, we just have 100 people that we have to babysit through enemy territory.
That's a good point. Okay.
Meanwhile, my character's walking down that ramp,
Yep.
ready to tell them a different plan.
You're going with her, right?
Yeah.
So we'll walk back down and call Litriel.
Yeah.
Hey, Litriel.
Sexy.
Somebody said sexy.
I need
That too.
just a minute.
Yeah, what's up?
Quick minute, please.
Like, totally.
All right. Change of plan. Better idea. They need to have them set up defensive positions, keep them calm, have the hunters and gatherers scout the general area,
Mm-hmm.
allow them to survive and set up defenses, and we will be back
Okay.
as soon as we can.
Oh, so, like, we're going to set up an entire entrenchment of humanity right here.
Effectively, yes.
I like it. We'll build up a new tower.
Go.
And Litriel,
Yeah?
you should remind them to keep fires low. We can't really have them too lit.
I mean, they are in a cave, but at the same time, wait.
I love your use of words.
Is it lit?
Oh, it's so lit.
No, we're trying not to be lit.
Fine. I'll tone down my fire, too.
So we walk up to the group of humans.
Okay, so, like, hi, I'm Litriel. I am the champion of, what's my god's name again? Sorry, I don't
Write it
remember.
on your page!
I should write that down.
I really should write down the goddess's name. Valaria, by the way.
Valaria.
I'm the champion. I'm the champion of like.
What's her name?
Looks at
Yeah,
Smudge.
actually, no, we can actually make that part of the roleplay. You're actually saying champion of, and her name almost escapes your lips.
Ah.
And you get the name again, Valaria.
Yeah, I'm the champion of Valaria, and so it looks like we got like. I'm not sure if it's the good end of the deal or a bad end of the deal,
Did
but
Sigmund just die?
no, that actually happened like several hundred years ago.
But I just saw
And
it
so,
happen.
yeah, like everything that's weird in the world, it's magic. So,
Year of my life. Year of my life into this. A hard year of my life into this, crafting this. How's the chat doing?
Real good.
They have
And
the
so-
same stroke I am.
and so, like, what the plan is, like, we're not sure where the other people are, where the other humans are. So we're gonna like hunker down. We're gonna build some defenses. We're gonna go hunt. You hunters, you 10, yeah, I see you guys. I know you raised your hands earlier. So if you guys could go and like kind of scout the area, let us know what's up, who our neighbors are, who we have to like where the first raiding parties probably have to go, and maybe bring back some food. We got some rations, but we don't want to rely on that. And, I guess we're out the details later, but right now,
Latrell, while we still have sunlight, please.
fine. So yeah, let's begin with that, and the rest of you, we can talk about the specifics, and you can talk to Hema because she's being a bit of a bitch now. So.
In the meantime, we're going to go downriver. Not all the same cities that we knew of are here, so we're going to go play nice with some of our neighbors and bring back food and bring back water as soon as we can. Right? Greg, you're still in charge.
You're doing great, Craig.
No, I'm not.
Like, have you talked to your god yet?
No,
You should try.
I have been.
Not hard enough.
Right, so stay calm and keep focusing on that positive vibe.
And here's the other deal. We don't know exactly what's out there. There could be horrible, demonic entities prowling around the plains, so you guys are going to need to keep hidden, keep quiet, and work on building those defenses as fast as possible. Try not to draw unnecessary attention to yourselves, or everyone might die.
While you've been saying that, I was quietly doing the maracas, but like when you said that, I'm like, maybe I'll just tuck them away a little.
Being a lot less funny the more time passes. So are you for scouting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right
So-
through hearts. On off we go.
You start heading downriver for about several hours, actually. The first thing you notice is you see what appears to be the smoldering ruin of a fort. A recent fort at that. Covered with bits of broken wood, jagged metal. Were all bolted and fastened together, very makeshiftly, not at all constructed by humans, or dwarves for that matter, or elves. Quite clearly of Orcus construction. It looks like there was a docks assembled, and this place looks like it's been firebombed to hell. Yeah, firebomb back to hell! As if someone has bombarded it with heavy assault of some kind, probably magical.
Well, at
Moving
least
on.
Is there a gate?
There was a gate. Now there's a hole.
I'm gonna walk in and look at the fort.
Inside, you see the ruins as well as the bones of what are clearly orcs and hobgoblins, as well as several goblin bones scattered around. It doesn't look like anything was pilfered from this place. In fact, your feet are the first ones to really disturb the soot-covered dirt.
just looks like it was wiped off the map
Yeah,
intentionally.
yeah. In fact, you guys can all of you can make perception rolls.
I was gonna say any sign of survivors.
Hmm.
Anyone
Oh.
living here?
I have
No.
not rolled above a 12 at all.
Yeah, 12.
For perception.
Most of them were
Yeah.
10.
9.
Okay.
6. 8.
It looks like multiple spells were cast. Destructive evocation spells were cast in this area. This wasn't just one spell. And it's weird because you can see no footprints coming in or out of this village at all.
So it was wiped off the map and no one cared to follow up.
I'm gonna look for water skins.
I'm gonna go.
You find burnt water skins that have been burned and cracked.
Is there anything here that with is at all going to be usable?
I grab a skull. Here, a cup. And I grab another skull, and I'm going to look towards this. Like, there are buildings in here, right? Like scorched buildings.
More like ruins, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my ear up and hurl it as far into the fort as possible, and just see if there's a reaction.
Wait. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Maybe we could get everybody over here.
Aye, that's a good point. And that's that. Is it possible, as looking at the foundations, to rebuild?
Or the palisades of
Oh, the
any
palisade, yeah, exactly.
No, none of the structure itself, because the thing is, this wasn't laid with like stonework of any kind, or barely wood planks to make just walkways to prevent mud from coming through.
Okay.
And any palisades were just posts that were jutted into the ground and shot out, and
But it's
then,
still easily replaceable because the ground is at least level.
yeah,
And it's been hardened by fire.
it has.
Yes, yeah.
But it's almost as if someone intentionally bombarded this thing enough to kill everybody, and then said, "No, more fireball spells would be better."
Right.
I'm concerned that they might actually be more safe back in the little cave.
Yeah, like if we just put people here, it's like saying, "Hey, you missed a spot."
Well, not necessarily. It depends on whether it was them wanting to kill the orcs and hobgoblins and goblins, or just the place itself.
Yeah, but I think we should probably, like stick to being in a cave rather than the open.
But
Okay,
we'll keep
but-
it in mind. It's a
I was gonna say, the cave is a good fallback in case they get attacked, but at the same time, they're trapped in those double doors, and they only have so many rations. Here, they have buildings to escape into, which clearly can take a siege.
right.
Not really. There's no roofs left on
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Like, they're all, like-
it's all leveled.
Like, oh,
Like there's
it's all
shrapnel of walls and
Okay.
stuff.
To be fair, there's not much you can do against a siege of fireballs. It's just it is what it is.
Well, you're the dwarf. You know most about this kind of shit. What
But
do you
it's
think?
I think it's possible to repair at least a wall to keep out wolves and bears and other things. Any kind of thinking, strategizing creature can get through here, but at least it will help keep them safe from the elements. So, and they will have the cave as a good fallback. But again, when we get back to them, we'll tell them to come here.
Would I know anything about like what this fort was called while it was still?
There's no identifying markers of any kind, although you did see among the refuse, you see that same symbol again, the fire with two crossbones.
Huh.
Is it like
Well-
on a leathery thing?
Yeah,
again?
same
So
thing.
I Can grab it?
For now, we'll call this place Fort Hema.
Fort Hema. Right.
There's a bunch of them everywhere, just on bodies and stuff, just really cracked and burnt.
Can I
but
just like grab
yeah,
a
you
bunch
get
of them?
about 7 or no, 20.
20.
Interesting.
Okay.
Which means that the people who were at the caves weren't here whenever it was wiped out, which means it's recent. Because those other goblins weren't here. Because the hobgoblin has the same
How
symbol.
fresh are the fires that would have been burned down?
Couple nights.
Couple nights.
Something doesn't sit right with this, but let's keep going.
I mean, like,
Is
that
there-
guy casually mentioned, like, this lady or someone who just destroyed all dams. Could
Yeah,
it be, like, the
Sky
same
Witch
thing?
or
The Sky
whatever.
Witch.
Oh.
Sky Magus.
Sky Magus.
Yeah.
Are there any structures or anything that I could climb up and just like scout? No.
Unless you plank them together and hope for the best.
Right.
Any trees or anything?
Yeah, outside of the range of the...
I'm gonna go to a tree. I'm gonna try and find a tall tree. And I'm gonna
You
climb
find one
up
a good 30 feet up in the air.
Okay, I'm gonna go up, and I'm just gonna
Look around.
take 10 minutes and just look around.
Cool. Make a perception roll and I'll tell you what you find.
Do I get any pluses because I'm taking my time?
Yep. I'm going to add to your roll after you give it to me.
14.
Cool. To your, because we're going, let's say you're looking south, you've been traveling south along this river, to your immediate, that's west, to your immediate west, you can see what appears to be cooking fires, and relatively close to the castle, too. So
What
south,
was the castle?
what was the castle? Southwest, you can see cooking fires. If you look further south, at first you think it's a storm coming, because it's denser, thicker cloud of a darker color. Then you realize something. It's the cloud. It's oh god, what the hell's the name of that spell? The one where it makes fog. Obscuring mist. It's obscuring mist, and it's in the sky.
How far away?
About a couple of days away.
A couple of days away, and is it coming or is it going?
It's coming.
Okay.
I climb down the tree and I report this to my allies. The Sky Magus. Do you think that they could be an ally?
Maybe. If it's the one that destroyed this place.
Well, they either had something. Were orcs part of the Dominion, or were they like?
You guys?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. They were a monstrous race. The only race that was considered monstrous that really signed up with you were the goblins, because no one treats the goblins nicely, and the humans were like, well, we don't like you either, but stop stealing our stuff and we'll treat you better.
Yeah.
And that was a good deal.
The Sky Magus.
Oh, we love that day. It was called Don't Hit Us Day. It was a good day.
Sky Magus might not like me, but you lot.
Maybe.
Well, except for you.
They might not like me either.
Well, that gives a 50-50 chance that he'll be on our, or she will be on our side.
So why don't we get a stick, carve our Dominion symbol into the ground,
Ooh.
so that the Sky Magus can see it.
Huh.
And like maybe in the meantime, we go to those cooking fires and if wipe them out because they're too close to base.
Yes,
There could be meat.
there could be. Like,
Right, so you're going to those
How
fires?
far away is the
Yeah.
cooking fires?
A couple hours.
so we will.
So you're basically, so to put this in perspective, this is where your castle was. You went here. The fires are over here.
Okay.
So we'll carve a small
There,
section of
sorry,
it. And
west.
we'll carve a small Horlath symbol.
Limber up, fuckers.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you too, fucker.
And
So
also
just so you know, the symbol of the of Horlath is a white
Hey,
tower
that
on a
dog
shield.
is you fucker.
a white tower. Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough to draw.
Easy, very easy.
Selexi, can you do you have a message? Can you send a message?
Yeah.
Send a message to
Greg.
Well, Greg's the only one who we actually know.
I thought it was
So-
Craig.
Craig.
Greg?
Greg.
I named him in 5 seconds. I didn't think that was the one
He's
you were going to get
great
attached
now.
to.
Right. Well, send it to Craig. Tell him.
I literally broke down the jobs of every single person in the 100 people. I didn't think you'd worry about the name of the one fucking cleric.
Who's useless.
Message him and have him send some of the scouts here so they can start arranging cleaning up of this area.
And make sure he replies so we know he understands.
So we know he understands.
All right.
Literally, 3 blacksmiths, 20 farmers, 3 tanners, 10 hunters, 4 carpenters, 1 level 1 cleric, 3 masons, 10 fishermen, 2 tailors, 1 cobbler, 3 bakers, 2
So he's
furriers, 3
intending us for
millers.
us to
Just
actually
don't even
build
pay
this town.
attention to me.
And a partridge in a pear.
And their families.
Good man.
I
Good
use
job.
message to Craig.
Craig.
Craig, this is Silksy. I'm gonna need you to send. How many did we want? Like four or 5 different scouts down to our area. How do we get here? I'll tell them. Down by the river to the south. And just respond to me with a little message. Oh, wait, how much can I use?
And your count of words.
Oh.
I count it.
Does he respond?
Okay. I don't know how to fill these up with more words, but since we only have hunters who can do that, here they...
I think he's sending hunters.
Okay, good. That's something.
That seemed like a lot. I wonder. I really hope that he got all of that.
I think so. I think I kept it very concise.
I'm so used to the camera being over here.
Cooking fires. Onward.
So, you're hanging the direction?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna make sure Silksy has a hold on you fucker, because I will have a hold on you fucker behind Silksy. So,
So I think
trying
that
to
I'm
train.
holding on to you fucker, but you're actually
Right.
holding on to you fucker.
Yeah, there you
but like
go.
Yeah.
it's like when a kid's doing something, but
So-
the adult's really doing it.
Yes.
Make a perception roll. Once you get close, so you can see it from a distance clearly.
My red die has been screwing me.
This is
14.
unbelievable. My rolls today.
Fuck.
8.
Well, your green one.
How,
anymore.
dude?
I've rolled above 10 once.
You should get rid of that dice.
I've switched to both of them.
Cool. Get a third
See
one.
that die?
19.
19. These are not the encampments of humanoid races. Goblins scurry about scavenging for food and shelter, while hobs sit about in tight-knit squads despite their poorly kept equipment, which they keep attempting to polish and clean the materials thereof, albeit poorly. The orcs move about like apex predators despite the presence of larger monstrous species deeper into the camp, pushing aside the hobs and goblins, sometimes deliberately. Around them are various beasts, goblin dogs, giant centipedes, and even a couple of owlbears.
Oh.
There could be more than a few hundred here, poorly organized at some time, retaining a kind of formation.
Oh.
So, how many of them?
About 100.
That's an army.
That's...
Well, no, it's a
Squadron.
Small force. It's a squadron, yeah.
Of an army.
So do we want to wait for the Sky Magus?
Yeah. We can't. Well.
Also,
maybe we just put this
you guys
in, like,
remember that
a
hobgoblin you let go?
Yeah.
You can see him among them, and he's pointing right in the direction of the castle.
Oh, balls.
Well, I have an idea.
Mm.
Well, they're gonna send a small party of people to over there.
Right.
Why don't we just ambush those guys?
Okay. They might not send their whole force.
Yeah, pick off a small piece.
Right. We'll see how many they send.
I mean, we can see them right now. We can tell how many they send. And
I love
try
how
and
no
get
one's
them
made
all.
a stealth roll.
We're also like well out of the way. Okay, fair enough.
There's still scouts, guys.
Stealth.
Oh
roll,
yeah.
Stealth roll.
Fair enough.
Oh gosh, there's some...
Natural 20.
Natural
Minus
1.
3.
13.
Okay.
The dwarf with a -3 to his stealth.
Got
Crits.
it. Every so often it happens.
And then
Yeah.
the half-orc is
I got a
just
grand
like,
total of 5.
So,
What are we doing here?
so as you're...
I go, there's the hobgoblin!
So,
Announcing it.
so here's what happens.
There's
You
the-
see 4 larger hobgoblins listening to this one hobgoblin. And as he's clearly emphatically talking to them, one of them just looks frustrated and cuts his head off and hucks him over his shoulder.
Oh, shit.
And the goblins immediately start cutting him up and ripping him apart and scavenging him for parts.
So why are they
And they're pointing, and they're just talking in the direction, and they're talking in the direction. And one guy just looks and says,
Oh shit! I look at you're fully standing.
there's Hema, and the rest of you are all kind of just cutting in the tall grass, and there's Hema who's just crouching and watching, and they're like,
too tall.
I see that he knows me, right?
Yeah, I think he does.
so they're coming in your direction.
How
There
many?
There wasn't
Like
supposed to be
7
any audio
miles.
from coming.
There was no audio. I'm just being quiet.
How many?
About 3 of them.
Okay.
I
Three
look at them and I
goblins?
say,
Hobgoblins.
back me up. Like, stay here for now, but back me up if I need it. I might
And
not
for the
need
duration of this adventure, all hobgoblins will have the same voice, because I'm not just going to do higher and lower levels of hobgoblin voice. So they're...
I step out.
Yeah, they're
Meet them.
riding up on horseback.
Yeah.
Very mangy ass horseback, but horseback nonetheless.
Hey, good looking. What are you doing out here, huh? You pretty ass orc girl, you look like you got a bit of something. You got humor in you.
Give me your sword.
Not currently.
Your long sword.
Oh, nice. We got a good one. We got a good one. I haven't seen where you got your things from. I haven't seen the human in these lands for a long time. Aren't they endangered?
Did everyone miss that?
Oh, no, I heard
that.
it.
Yeah. My AV staff has a
Well,
death.
you know, been getting by on my true roots, the orcish side.
Oh, you be a small ass orc. Oh, I mean, sister, which company you with?
Well, I've been hopping back and forth between clans, trying to find the right one for me, you know, and getting the best parts of all of them.
What are you talking about? The different clans are all banding together now for the next invasion.
Exactly. I've been going between each of them as an emissary.
All right, well, there's a Miss Emissary. Ooh.
Hey,
What?
you treat me with respect.
Oh, so, my lady. And down the line, my lady.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now they're west of the castle, right?
South of the castle.
They're south of the
Well,
castle.
southwest of the castle.
Southwest. Okay. So they're southwest. Now listen, I just came from the east.
What?
We're actually going to be moving. There are a couple of orc clans over there. We're actually going to be moving far west to avoid the storm magus, because they fucked our shit before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you from... Did you survive that? We thought she wipes you out. She don't leave people alive. That wee-ass weirdo.
Tell you what, there's a secret to it.
What?
Running.
Oh. Woo! I'm okay.
So your group, I highly advise, starts running. Because she's been getting worse.
Worse than what? Laughing her ass off? Weird-ass little old lady thing.
Oh, yeah. Because she's lost an arm. She's pissed.
Crummy. Alright, well, we were gonna check out, we heard some bunch of people were up. We heard there was a half-orc.
Another one?
Dressed like a monk.
What?
A woman.
No shit, that must have been my sister.
Roll bluff.
I was waiting for it! Oh, bullshit! That's the one!
That's the one that does it.
Oh, guys, I have a charisma of 2.
It's wisdom, right, for sensible? Okay.
My deception? Oh, my
By
deception.
the way, while this was happening, I applied centipede venom to her sword.
What'd you get?
18.
Oh, shit.
19.
Oh!
18 on the dice, plus 1 for wisdom.
Oh!
Come and take a look if you don't believe me.
I believe you. I believe you.
You're just mad.
I hate you.
Devin's taking my rolls today. What do you want?
That's true. Yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And you're not dressed like one of us either. The emblems on your outfit are different from
I
ours.
stole this shit.
We're from where? A fucking dead empire? No, you're her.
Fine.
Yeah.
You wanna know what I was doing over there?
What?
Sizing them up. How many? You're scout. How many did they say were there?
4 of them.
4 of them? There's
One
only
of them.
2. I killed 2 of them. Then there was
No,
me,
you're
and there
on
was
this.
another one.
This narrative is becoming incredibly problematic, and I no longer wish to engage you. Let us go in battle.
I almost sent an army away from us. 1 roll.
So do they
This entire conversation becoming problematic, and I won the roll. Fuck you. We're fighting.
they still don't know that we're here, though.
No, they don't. So, okay, so
Fine, I'll take you on
So-
myself.
Can we get a surprise round?
you are going to get your surprise rounds. You 3 are getting the surprise round, Dom. You will not be. You'll be attacking in your initiative step with them.
Okay, so roll initiative.
Yeah, you're going to roll. Well, everyone's going to roll initiative.
Okay.
This entire narrative is becoming problematic.
19.
Add that to the highlight reel.
Yeah, is that or no? 12.
So,
Actually, I just want to check.
Tom, what'd you get?
14.
14. Tom, what'd you get?
7.
Devin, what'd you get?
12.
Okay, so the surprise round will happen first.
Okay.
And you'll all get your surprise actions, then we go into normal initiative after that, okay?
Okay, alright.
So, surprise happens in whatever order you guys declare it in.
Oh, okay. We don't have to go in the initiative order that
I don't
that
care.
occurred. Okay.
Because I'm assuming it's a surprise round, so you had time to strategize and figure out which way you wanted it to happen.
Mhm.
And then initiative will happen as it does.
I mean, there's 3 of them and 3 of us.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
No rush.
No. I know which one it. I got.
Do you
the
know what you want
lowest.
to do? If the answer is no, I know what I'm going to do.
Okay, yeah, go.
Okay. So, while this lovely conversation was going on, Devin's character applied centipede venom to my blade,
Yes.
and I will be jumping out of the bushes and attacking the nearest guy that's there.
Make your attack roll. He will be flat-footed, so I believe that's
Mike.
touch AC?
How far away is? How far away
No,
is?
there's a flat-footed AC.
Oh, no, there isn't. Not on the thing. I mean, I know what it is. I just subtract dexterity from the AC, which is really 13, Which I shouldn't have said, but here we are.
Out of curiosity, how far away can I approximate how far away Hema is from the hobgoblins? How their conversation?
They're right next to you. So the hobgoblins are 10 feet away from them because they rode right up to her.
So they're 10 feet away from Hema.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you were all around her in a circle because you were stealthing together.
If she was farther away, I was going to throw a bomb at her to make her faster. But if she's within 10 feet, then it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Then never mind.
So,
A speed bomb.
A speed bomb. It's an elixir that I turn into a bomb. Kaboom! Plus 10 speed.
I like it.
wow. Okay. Fine. I attack.
Yeah.
First one.
We have taken your rolls.
Yes, this is not a good.
This is a good day for Mike.
Not a good roll. So I'm going to attack again. I rolled a 4 plus a 5.
So you missed, yeah.
A 9. No.
So it's just and does the second one hit?
Let's find out. Natural 18.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Plus 5 minus 5, so 18.
Okay.
So that's a D12.
That easily hits.
Could be worse. Do I add 1.5 times my strength bonus for doing two-handed or no?
I don't even know if that's even a thing anymore, so let's just assume no.
Okay, we'll assume no. 8 damage.
Cool.
And then what does the venom do?
The venom does. Sorry, I was just looking that up. One other thing. 1d4 poison damage on a successful strike. Stage 1. 1d4 poison damage.
Yeah. Is there a will save to get it?
There is.
Okay.
So roll this. So roll 1d4 poison damage.
Oh, sorry.
What's the con save I have to make?
14 fortitude.
Cool, made it.
Okay.
1.
But
You
So
take
you
one
take
poison.
1 poison damage, but you passed your fortitude save, so the centipede venom is
so it's a total of how much now?
9.
9? Okay.
done. But you passed your fortitude, so the poison doesn't become worse.
And in theory, I could make this, so I'm going to actually roll a third time for my last attack.
Go with God, be safe from evil. Though your God is dead.
That did very much not work out.
Okay, cool. So, Beth, it's yours, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna use
Not a critical fail.
telekinetic projectile
Okay.
to try to throw. Is there just like a loose
Yeah.
rock or something? Yeah. I'll just huck
There's
something.
always a loose rock.
I'll huck something that
We're in a fantasy game.
whichever one's the closest to me, I guess.
No, sorry.
You're still laughing about... Okay. Is it good? Good. How's the chat doing? Are they enjoying it? Oh, thank God.
They want a Deadpool, though.
They want a Deadpool?
Yes.
What end?
Oh, for us?
Yes.
Oh.
No.
It's gonna be a
Oh.
fight between all of you to see who... Oh, which of them's gonna die?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. We
Oh.
had that last time, didn't we? Does the audience still want to donate to get back HP? Or no, how? Screw it.
It was Pendragon.
Yeah, for Pendragon, they had a thing where they could donate. Screw it. If you guys donate $5, player of your choice gets +3 to their rolls.
Hey!
So if someone's been failing a lot,
Great, now we have to be likable.
Right?
a simple donation
Like,
of $5
totally not a
means. Or screw it. No, let's make it $1 a plus. So $1 plus 1, $2 plus 2, etc., etc., etc.
To next roll.
To that player's next immediate roll, regardless of what it is.
Oh, there you go.
Where are we on my bluff check?
Yes.
To give the incentive.
Yeah.
to
Incentive.
first.
Yeah, Mike, where was this on the bluff check?
And you know what? Maybe I just wanted you to be immersed in
Oh,
fear.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Yeah, I know.
That's so-
Asshole.
Yes. Telekinetic projectile. Does that have a modifier?
It's a ranged attack,
Yeah.
so...
Range attack. Right. I keep forgetting. So that was
So dex plus 1.
Dex plus 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so 17 to hit.
Yep.
And
totally hits.
1d8 damage. Got a
That's
10.
That's a D10.
D10 damage, sorry, is what I meant to say.
Oh, that's a 10.
No, I was rolling the right thing. I just
That's
said
great. How
wrong.
much damage did you do?
10.
Oh, fuck.
Is there a plus to that?
I don't want there to be. Did you hit a fresh hobgoblin or the one that got hit before?
We'll go after a fresh one.
Cool. That's been hit. Moving on. Devin, it's your go.
So the third of the fresh hobgoblins, I'm going to throw liquid ice at him.
Yeah.
And dip. All right, that is a 15.
Is it the chat? What did they say?
They said so tempted to donate and say Big Mike gets the bonus.
Let the game get strong.
Oh, no. All right. So 15, does it hit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So he pulls out the bomb, throws it. A little bit of the liquid drops out and starts to freeze his fingertips. Like, damn it! As it soars through the air, hits, and this liquid blue, viscous matter coats him and immediately starts to freeze all over him. And that does 1. Okay, so you take 6 immediate damage. Make a fortitude save versus 14.
Okay, I did. I made a flat 18.
Damn. Okay, so you get an additional 4 damage, but it stops. So the cold and chilling stops for next round. It's you, or you would have taken it. So it's 10 total damage, and you are minus 15 speed.
So no speed.
There you go.
It's hobgoblins have a speed of 15.
Nice.
No. Any other actions?
Yes, actually, I will throw liquid fire.
What's up?
Alchemy fire at the other ones.
Okay, so that's going to be at a -5.
It's gonna be at a -5, yeah.
One person wrote a freeze grenade. Cool. Or pun semi-intended.
And then
You're all precious people, and I love every last one of you.
I pull out my alchemist fire, bite the rope to light it, and that is a.
I keep hearing the AV staff laughing at what the chat's saying.
Everybody chill.
9. Everybody chill. 9
Okay.
for the alchemist fire.
For damage?
No, to hit.
Oh, that misses.
Okay.
Now the fields are on fire.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yep, like you're telling us. Everyone. Hey, look at this place.
God, there's a fight!
I look at you three and I'm like, I had this.
As you look back.
Anyway, now the proper combat round. Beth?
Okay.
Because you're at the top of the initiative order.
I'm just gonna use telekinetic projectile again
Go ahead.
because that worked last time, so why not? 19 to hit,
That'll hit.
and what's a 4? Damage 4? Yeah.
Okay.
To the same one?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go off the same one.
13 damage.
Stop throwing rocks at me.
He's like,
I beg your pardon, that's racially insensitive, using our voice like that.
And Beth is living her best life. Tom, what are you doing?
Hashtag Moroccan life.
Well, he's still standing, and I can't have that.
Very well, then let us end this in the house of whatever your character's name is.
Litreal.
Thank you.
let's get lit.
Yeah.
Get lit.
Roll! I'm not going to indulge your madness.
Aww. Does a 17 hit?
Yeah.
Cool.
Woohoo.
D12. Uh, 10 damage.
Cool.
Still alive?
Dead.
Cool. In that case,
Oh no, shit, he's still alive. He's got like 1 HP left.
oh, I've got it. Keep at it. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
Cool.
Still technically flat-footed. So they haven't had a chance to raise their shield and have the shield defense.
There you go.
All right. 14 damage.
Now he's dead.
Very dead.
So you
Very
basically
dead.
reached up with your sword and just went, ah! Get down! And slamming him again. And he falls off his horse.
Okay.
That's your turn.
And then I will move up opposite the to try and place one hobgoblin, the fresh one, between myself and.
There are no more fresh hobgoblins you've been attacking.
There were 3.
There was the one that Hema attacked. The one that's
I didn't
Lizzie
attack.
attacked.
He hasn't gone yet.
Alright, Hema hasn't gone yet.
Okay, fine. The one that
Oh, you
looks like
attacked- you
the
attacked
most
that.
alive, and I will stand between that one and Hema,
Okay.
so that Hema can get a flanking bonus.
Does you fucker get a turn?
You haven't trained you fucker to the point where
Damn it!
you fucker is just obedient now, not necessarily an attack dog yet.
I scream, you fucker, attack!
And it attacks you.
And he jumps
He
at you.
attacks you.
Back!
I look at you, fucker.
Anyway, it is now the Hobbs' turn. So, for the first time, I'm going to be able to attack someone.
So one of them's dead?
One of them's dead.
Okay.
So there's the one that's right in front of Beth's character. Who's going to use their longsword to attack her. Does a 19 hit you?
Oh gosh.
AC. There.
Yep.
1d8 plus 2. 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay.
Wait, was that was a 1d8 plus 2?
Yeah.
Just check.
Yeah. You had to highlight my failings, did you, Tom?
Just a little bit.
I'm
but you go fuck yourself.
squishy.
That's for later tonight.
I would hope. All right.
Well, I'm only a little less.
I'm going to try attacking again. Let's see if this works.
This is so dumb.
It did not work. Does a 9 hit you? It hits you.
No.
No point in me moving any further. Next up on the docket is the one who you are flanking. Let's see if this works. Does a 18 hit you? Oh.
Wait, I thought the one that she was attacking is dead.
No, he moved to
I
flank.
moved to level.
The one that the one that Selixi is attacking?
No, the one that you were. I think. Which one was the most alive?
The one that's attacking him.
Him.
Well,
It's on its own that you were
It's on its own.
Yeah, he didn't move up to it.
I didn't move up to it at all, so it
I
can't reach
moved
anything.
just me.
Hers would have been the one that you would have attacked. Unless you want to engage something that can't attack us this round, which would be foolish.
That's what I did.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough.
And a 19 does indeed hit me.
All right.
Aren't you a brave paladin?
Like, totally.
8 damage. I'm going to try and attack you again.
Because now it can attack you.
Beautiful.
And life goes on.
So
It's now Devin's turn.
So Lit has 8 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get to play alchemist in the true, the most broken sense. So as soon as I see Lit get hit, can't have that. He's like, "Oi, hold this!" I pull out of my backpack a small bedroll and throw the rest of the bag to you. Hold this, and I roll out my alchemy kit on the ground. This is
Oh my
one action,
gosh.
mind you. I roll out my alchemy kit in the space of almost 6 seconds. I go, done, good. So I mix up a potion using a resonance point.
What the hell is that?
Quick alchemy. That's an alchemist in 2nd edition. Pour together a bunch of random shit, mix it, like, right, that's about right. I throw it. I throw it at you. So I spent the resonance points so this does work. I make an elixir of life minor, and I throw it at you.
What the fuck was that?
Quick alchemy. It's a single action.
What?
You spend a resonance
I
point.
got it. I'm just mad.
Yeah, I know. So I made a healing potion on the spot, and for one action, and then the next action I throw the healing potion at you. And woo! Base 16 plus 3, 19.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Yeah. So you take you heal 3 points.
Cool.
Yeah.
That whole thing offended me as a game master. It offended me that you had the fucking audacity. Wait, were you adjacent? No, you weren't adjacent to me.
No, Jason, I'm throwing
There's
you
no
out of the
attacks.
woods.
There's no attack of opportunity.
No, not at all.
God, that offends me. That offends me as a game master in every.
By the way, I
I'm
do
mad.
it again. By the way, I do it again because that
I'm
throwing
mad.
is only a single action.
I'm mad, Devin.
That's nice.
Devin,
So now
I'm mad.
I'm going to use one of my minor elixirs of life that I have on me
That does get a -5
to hit you. Yeah.
Okay.
If it misses you, it misses you. If it hits you, it heals you more.
All right.
Gosh.
So I'm going to use one of my already equipped elixirs. -5. That's a 14 minus 5, 9 plus 3. Does a 13 hit you?
It does not.
Damn, okay. So it shatters on the ground next to you. All right, and heals the grass.
Now, I'm wondering, does he have to be hitting my AC?
I
believe so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there should be some penalty to you spontaneously hucking things at your allies.
Yeah, and so to this, it's more, instead of an attack roll, it's like, can I aim right?
I would say if he wants to negate that penalty, he should take one of his actions to specifically notify you that it's coming. That way you can move.
Like an aim. Like if I chose to, like,
Yeah, but
one action to aim, the next action to throw.
Or
you
aim,
get
but
a
like
bonus.
I would house rule to say if you want to notify your allies, you're going to hit them, so that they can reactively respond to take it,
Exactly.
and thus not have to roll to hit. That would take up an action. That would be my call.
So those are my 3 actions.
That's fine.
Cool. That was weird. Dom.
I know how my
It's your
alchemy can
turn in this carnival of whatever the fuck.
Madness.
Okay, which one looks most damaged? Actually, no,
that-
you and I were about to flank one,
Yes.
right? Okay, I go up to the one that we're flanking, and they're on horses, right?
Yeah.
I take my tiger stance as my second action.
Yeah.
And I flurry of blows the horse.
The what?
They're on horses.
They're on horses.
We can use the horses.
Don't argue with
Yep,
this
I'm here.
character.
Without spending the normal
Well,
one cost. Allow courageous or crafting check. This is infused and dies next turn. So it's infused for
One of
round.
them's
I
a
thought that
13,
round
the other
I
one's an
used it.
18 to hit.
It's so dumb.
The 18 will hit the horse.
The 18 will hit the horse. Okay.
No,
That is...
The worst possible result.
Yeah. That is 5 points of damage as I slash at its legs.
cool. You have injured his horse. It is reacting by bucking at you.
Oh,
I'm
no.
guessing the audience is loving it.
Actually, Rusty tried to donate, but he couldn't do it, unfortunately. And he's like, I was going to donate $3 to Mike. Just so that way he would have a plus.
Oh no.
He's
it
been doing
didn't
well this game.
work.
Sad maracas. Sad maracas.
Does an 18 hit you? Tom, does an 18 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Cool.
Sad maracas.
7 damage bludgeoning for hitting this thing.
7?
Yeah, it's a fucking horse.
Oh my god. Okay.
Hit the horses.
Top of the round. Beth, what are you doing?
I'm going to. It's working for me. I'm just gonna use telekinetic projectile again.
Okay.
Oh, it definitely did not hit.
Okay, cool. You want to try again?
Sure.
You got 3 actions.
I take a -5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. -5 plus 3. That would be an 8.
That will not hit.
Okay.
All right, let's just move on. Tom?
Oh wait, did I get like a flanking bonus or anything?
It would have been a +2. I'm not sure if those
It's
work
like
in
a
the same
+2.
way.
No, they don't. Wait, flanking. If they're on opposite side, yeah, it's a +2 bonus.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Circumstance.
So my
Yeah, one of your extra hats would have
been a 14 to hit the horse.
hit the horse.
So what was that?
That was an 8.
That was the 8?
Yeah.
So that's 12 more damage to the horse.
The horse's heart explodes.
Oh, Jesus.
Boom! You still got hit for it, but the horse's heart exploded.
Okay.
Poor horse.
So he fell
So
over.
then his damage would not have happened?
No, he
I
still got
still
hit.
got bucked.
I still got
I'll
bucked.
take it.
Okay, sure.
Just, oh my
What I get
whoa,
for animal
Shinderu. It just was delayed, like as I said, like Fist of the North Star was just like a few turns later. It just went.
The horse.
21 to hit.
That'll hit the hob or the horse. The horse
Why
is-
would I? Okay. Why would I beat a dead horse?
Yeah,
Moving
that
on.
hits. That hits.
Moving on.
The horse corpse. Like I walked up to the hobgoblin after killing the horse, and the leg twitched and hit me in the head.
Yeah.
8 damage.
Cool.
Is
That-
he dead yet?
This is that one is dead.
Okay. Jump along to the one that Beth is trying to attack.
Yeah, that's your next action.
So that's my next action, and I
Go ahead.
try and take its head.
This action economy throws me off so much.
Yes, but you get penalties every time you
I
do.
know,
And
but
you
still-
get multiple attacks.
Does an 18 hit?
Yeah.
You'll start loving it when you're in melee with us. It can do 3 attacks.
5 damage.
Cool. He's still alive. Next is the last remaining hob, who still has a horse. Saying, "Oh, fuck this then." Just look at it.
I look at him and I'm like, "Come on, be a man."
Oh, I'm going to run like a coward. And he
You're
starts,
supposed to take my advice from earlier.
tough shit, you're the enemy. I feel your advice is bad for my life health. Why am I doing
Your
grind?
life health.
I do not feel I'll be living my best life following your advice. Doing grog impressions from Critical Role now. What the fuck? Anyway, so he's booking it in the opposite direction and screaming for help.
Oi!
Devin, it's your go. You got one chance to catch him.
How far away is he?
Currently on horseback. Let us learn of the movement speed of a horse.
So before he starts really getting away,
70 feet away.
Can I get my attack opportunity?
Yes, you could.
Yeah. You have attack of opportunity. You're not a fighter.
That's right. Only rogues get that.
Fighters. Fighters.
Fighters. Right. That is no longer a thing.
Yep. You don't all have that unless you chose to take it.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. These guys have it. It hasn't come up. Killing them. But I dream.
Dream.
So you said 70 feet away?
Yeah.
And that's 15. He's got. Oh, okay, I can do it. So
would you want a
spend
different
2
dice?
actions. No, I'm gonna wait. Which one was it? Shit, I don't know which one.
Tell you what, I'll
use this one. So I'm gonna grab my last liquid ice, run out of the forest, use 2 actions, 25 feet lob.
Yeah.
Because we don't hit him. So the dwarf is going dangerous over short distances. And sprinting out of the woods he goes. And he slides on the ground, lobs it in the air, gives it a quick kiss before lobbing it.
Gosh.
Woohoo! Natural 19 plus minus 5, so that's 14.
Minus 5
because it's my third.
No, it's your first attack action.
Oh, my first attack action. You're right. Yeah. So I do a baseball slide and lob it into the air. 21. 21.
That hits.
Okay.
Amazing.
Is this an ice?
That's the liquid ice. Yes. Nice. So now the horse is frozen and hampered along with him. So that does 4 regular damage, and now this much cold damage. So 7 in total while he's freezing.
So, you huck your ice grenade, just bounding, true dwarvish fashion, pulling up your alchemist robes as you're doing so. Jump, throw. It arcs through the air. He just says, and another. Oh, fuck. Crashes into the side of his face, knocking him forward, banging him in the head of the horse, which shatters his skull, and his body falls off.
Lovely.
Done.
I will remind you the grass is still on fire, and you can see that the encampment is starting to...
Can you just stomp it out?
Who's the strongest here?
Two of us.
Not me. I look at you.
No, that's me.
I look at you and I'm like, quick, let's roll the horse over the burning area.
You're gonna set the horse on fire.
We're gonna.
It's alchemist fire. That's not in any way how that works, but okay.
Well, yeah, but if you like crush the fire.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna let it happen like that because this is funnier.
You got a better idea.
I mean, like maybe we could just like fan the flames and run.
Like towards the camp.
Uh-huh. Like, yeah.
It's like... No, wait. Hold on. I run behind the flames. Oh, I hope this works this way. And I throw down my Thunderstone, which is a wind.
What?
To feed the flames in the
I
direction
understand,
of
but I'm
protest.
saying what?
What is it?
No, I got that part too. I'm saying what in protest.
So Thunderstone, it is a sonic and wind-based alchemical bomb that is going to go in this direction. I'm like, right, run that way.
Okay, Devin, high or low, it does what you want. Call it.
High.
So once more, the dwarven ally hucks the Thunderstone potion.
Yep. Into
the explosion. There's a huge eruption. You almost think it's about to go out, then it just blows the flame into the direction of the camp.
Yes! Fucking
So where
I look over at you and I'm like,
that was fucking awesome.
Where to?
Like, Silky, it's time for victory maracas.
We all start dancing.
Yes, that's right. Walk back to the fort, making noise so they know where you are.
No, let's get into the woods and hide, and that way they don't know where we are, so we go back to the fort safely.
Like, I think they have, like, bigger problems, quite literally.
yeah.
Okay, so you arrive back at the fort several hours later. Well, are you going to the fort or the castle room?
Are we going to Fort Hema or the castle?
So let's go to Fort first just to see if there are any, like, if the rangers are, the hunters are here, like, scouting the area, and then we'll go back to the
Yeah,
mountain
sounds
area.
like a good
Yeah, because they expect us to be at the mountain. If we now move everyone to the fort, we can at least have some time to set up defenses before the rest of them come.
Yeah. I'm going to, while they're going fully back to the fort, I'm going to climb that tree again and look over to the camp and see what's happening.
What's going on?
They're mobilizing for one thing.
Or forest
Mobilizing?
fires.
They're mobilizing. They have to because the tents are going up really quickly, right? So rather than trying to stop the fires, they're moving out, starting to squadron up, and a few of them are pointing in different directions. You can't tell which direction they're pointing in.
Okay, but I'm going to stay up there. And I'm going to keep watching.
Another thing you notice is, you know that cloud cover that you thought was 2 days out?
Uh-huh.
Not 2 days out, it's a lot closer.
Oh.
Silksy, start drawing our emblem, the tower,
Oh.
with a stick.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Just in
I'm
case
just gonna draw it as big as I can, like running around drawing
Okay.
it.
So, as you're doing this, you notice something. There seems to be a little black mark in the sky that seems to move closer. It emerges from the cloud cover of the obscuring mist.
above the camp, above the enemy camp, or
Coming towards you.
okay.
There's a- sorry, right above where you are. It's so high up you can't quite make it out, but it looks like a person. They do a quick circle, and then they sail right back. The cloud cover, and it's moving really quickly now.
In what direction?
Direction of the enemy encampment.
Okay. So far, so good.
That's good.
So far, so good.
We're not being killed.
Yep.
So, do you want to go watch what happens?
Well, he
I'm
can
also
already
a
see
little
what happens.
Well, I'm also thinking, like, Silksy, maybe you should send, like, another message.
Like what?
Maybe they should come here.
Oh, like a message
Yeah.
message.
Yeah.
Not like,
Not like a note in a bottle.
well, I was
It's a
putting
fair
it on
question.
the ground,
Yeah.
and
Right to the
Yeah,
to Craig.
I'm gonna use the message. Craig,
What?
everybody needs
Sorry,
to
hang on.
come
Craig, everybody needs to.
come here
To the fort.
to the fort.
As
How
soon
many
as
words do I have?
25.
25. As soon as possible. Move out now.
Go.
Bring everyone.
You're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Craig.
Doing the best he can.
Yes, he is.
Short and sweet. While this is all happening, what am I seeing from atop my tree?
Well, all right. Well,
I'm gonna
the
climb as
cloud
well.
cover has somehow, instead of coming in your direction, is now moving the exact direction of the enemy camp. You're too far out to hear what's going to be said, though. So, you want to do... I'm going to ask you as this a group. You can either watch this from far back, or watch this up close.
Do we have time to get there? before
You'll have time to
she
get
gets
there before whatever that is, it gets there.
Yeah.
Two of us should go, and
Yeah.
two of us should stay here.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe.
You two go because if you get found, that's
But also,
Right.
she might kill
Hey,
us.
we're
That
right. The two of us. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
we'll
like,
receive.
okay.
We'll receive everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who's going?
The two of us.
Okay. Well, give me a second. I've got to play one hell of a character, so do forgive me if you guys get worried about this one.
Uh-oh.
So you head out back in the direction of which you were going.
Mhm.
Came from the enemy fort, and the cloud cover is rocketing in at top speed. In no way is it natural. You can clearly see that it's obscuring mist that's been sculpted to look like clouds.
Ah.
And from it, you see people emerging, bundled up, each of them carrying something you've never... Some of them are carrying bows. Some of them are carrying staves. Some of them are carrying a type of stave you've never seen before that's sheathed in wood but has a metal bar along the top. And they're just gripping it down at the base.
Mm.
At the head of them is what appears to be an elvish girl.
Is this in the sky?
In the sky. They're flying. They're all flying. An elvish girl with a crazed look in her eyes. Her hair has been hacked short. Her ears are pointed outwards. She's dressed in heavy leathers, and this is what she says.
Men! What are your useless lives for? The voice sounds as if it belongs to a young woman, even a girl. The nation! You hear their entire line reply as dozens of voices hollering back in perfect harmony. What are their... This is a little girl's voice, but I can't get my voice as shrill as this needs to be. What are their useless lives for? The nation! Then drown them in their own blood. Make them pay for the glory of Zawar! From the cloud cover, you see dozens of flying soldiers emerge, each brandishing a kind of weapon you've never seen, as I described it. The first wave of these sky soldiers opens fire with waves of magic missiles that pepper the enemy forces. The second wave, led by appears to be that young elvish woman I described earlier, open fire, and what you recognize to be fireball spells rained out from their barrels and annihilate the enemy forces.
Oh, shit.
And this is why I couldn't do this in 2nd edition. We don't have Magus.
Oh.
Make a perception check.
Just them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could. I'm atop a tree, but I'm
17.
You can see this explosion
Do
happening.
I have any, like, idea?
You can see the casting from this range. You can't hear what's being said, nor can you see the people.
Could I hear, like
Yeah,
muffles?
like that. Yeah.
Okay, great.
17.
Cool. Their commander is laughing and smiling, almost dancing as she sails through the air, raining destructive evocation spells on the battlefield. Her eyes are mad with glee as she tears forward. Tom, you make a lore check.
Yep. No.
What'd you get?
8.
You'll make it with this.
Depends
Because
on
you're
who she is.
you're of elvish descent.
Okay.
This fighting style you've heard of in legend and story. The great Magus Asarion, champion of your goddess, used to fight like this. Not as a mad person. He was known for 2 things, flying and casting through his bow. He became such a great hero in your time, in the time that you come from. He was devout, proud, focused, honed to a sharp edge, but it was almost like he was dancing in the sky as he was casting. This is like that. It's twisted, warped, distorted. This is a mad woman cartwheeling through the sky. Controlled. She knows where she's going, but she is like watching a child play.
I mean, it's like
okay?
a pale imitation of what like our god's champion used to do, but that's a crazy bitch. Like, he did something kind of like that, like flying and casting, but like he was chill.
So
She cray cray.
right. I'll presume that's bad. Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So
Like it's so
Question.
bad I can't even.
question: the champion of your god, did she like humans and civilized folk?
I mean, like,
Including
he
goblins.
was like, I mean, she's the god of like farming and family.
Clearly.
And so he was the god of sunlight. So they kind of got along.
Okay.
So I didn't see there's a problem.
She's sowing the seeds. That's
She's sowing something, but it looks like she's sowing fireballs.
Right.
Are you two okay?
Chat is also dying.
Why?
Because every time Tom talks with that accent,
They lose it. Okay.
Oh, this is going over well.
Right. So we
Jordan is
might.
dying. He's like literally the worst.
So
You could have been in this game, Jordan. Just saying.
So we might be okay. Might.
So, the battle's over in minutes. You see this head,
Battle.
well, slaughter.
I mean, like, I'll be okay. You are questionable. For her.
Great.
Slaughter.
Comforting.
Just this huge fire evocation fires. Some people throw down walls of flame just to keep them penned in as the spells bombard the area. And after a few minutes, it's done, and it's the exact same thing you saw on the fort line not too long ago. And they all land, and they immediately start freewheeling through the air, and you can hear someone pointing. You can see someone pointing in your direction and talking to the commander.
I raise my hand, like as like a gesture of acknowledgement that we've been spotted.
The person who spotted you just goes, pointing back at the fort you were at.
Oh, okay. I guess they know us, and let's
Same go.
GTFO.
And they're flying in the direction of the fort.
Oh. Let's run back. While we're running back,
Yeah.
can I make a recall knowledge using lore to make a recall knowledge on Zuar?
War?
Or is that a religion?
Yeah, you
check?
can. You
Okay.
can make that knowledge.
All right. So recall knowledge. 13 plus 5, 18.
The nation of Zawar was actually a much more tribal sort of region adjacent to you that was pretty much overseen by the elves. Mostly forest. They like to keep that particular area relatively peaceful and keep a nice harmony between the people as well as the beasts and such. They had like smatterings of cities and trees around the area, but smattering of the trees and the canopy areas around. The only part of Zawar that was really inhospitable was a place that only got known as the Wild, where a larger amount of beasts were kept. Well, not kept, it's just where they were. It was the more inhospitable jungle that the elves had yet to civilize. But it's their nation.
Okay.
It was their nation.
Right. So we at least know that something survived in some form.
So
go back to the fort.
yep, you two are there. They're running back, going, and you can see these.
Seeing
we
the
see
clouds
this
come
coming.
this way.
Well, it's not clouds anymore. They're just coming out in formation. Just all these sky.
Silksy, Craig, tell him to turn back.
Use us. Craig, turn back. I should
Does it turn back 25 times?
Turn back.
Well, 12 times, but yeah.
Yes.
Craig, turn back. Okay. 25 times. So as you two are running up, she lands, as
In front of us
does
or in the fort.
right in front of the fort,
Okay.
and she's looking down at the symbol on the crest. This short little girl, she couldn't be more than 50 for an elf, which is basically barely even hitting puberty.
Microphone.
Sorry, 15, barely even hitting puberty, maybe even 13 by age to compare for humans, and is walking around examining it, and then looking at the fort, and her eyes are wide and crazed. And there's an elvish man standing beside her. He's clearly wearing aviator goggles. His hair's been cut short to kind of compensate for the wind. And he's following beside her. And it's almost like he's just keeping pace with her. She's walking around. And she's just slowly walking around this symbol, glaring at it.
Near that?
Are you?
I was. I'm just
And
gonna,
her eyes
I'm
jerk
not
up at you.
moving if
And
you
she
don't move.
immediately unholsters her weapon and points it. And there's a barrel at the end of the at the end of it. There's an open kind of barrel on the end of it. You've never kind of seen this weapon before. And she points it at you.
I like your
You
stick.
two just arrive.
I jump down from the tree and I stand in front of.
Wait, she's with us! She's with us!
You. Where did you get that armor?
Oh, this was made for me.
Right, all of us.
Points the gun at you. Liar.
No.
I mean,
And
like,
she has the gun braced in the crook of her arm. She's like, liar.
No.
Where did you find it?
well, if you want, I can let you know that we just so we were there when Sigmar got
Sigmund.
killed. Yeah, sorry, Sigmund got killed. Thank you. Sigmund got killed, and the wizard at the time put a whole bunch of us in a
Garzal.
room.
Garzal, yeah.
Garzal put us in a room, and he closed the doors. Said, "Wish you luck in this new world." And then we opened the doors, and we were here.
Right.
Also, this dog, we stole it from the hobgoblins.
They're not
He's
They
very
are not
sweet.
friends of them at all.
Yeah, like the four of us plus a whole bunch of other people.
Silksy, put your maracas down.
We're from when that was still a castle, and I point in the direction of the mountain, and when they were friends, or at least allies.
Check. Immediately, 3 Maguses take to the sky and they fly in the direction of the
We
castle.
started the fire that was at that encampment.
Small as it was by comparison to, very cool. Those
Well,
things.
hot. but-
Stop talking.
Right,
We're going to wait and see.
right.
Like,
A little, like 10, 20 minutes.
As you wait.
Don't do that. And just like her clearly her second in command, when you're trying to do the shake, he's just like,
It's like,
Cool.
and they fly back. Story matches commander. Looks like there was a room down there that had been sealed for a long time. The runes match. Could have been Garzal, commander. We don't know.
you should
I
have seen
described
like,
Garzal.
You would have seen like about 100 humans, either on your way there or back. Craig's the leader.
And I described Garzol as best I can. He was like this. And actually, because I spent all my life in the city, I start describing the castle as best I can. And like, the city had the tower at the time had dozens of floors. And I have an eye for detail, so I just described the height of the tower, the color of it.
And I finish it off with what he said.
I mean, I literally told you so.
Yes.
I don't take sass from half-breeds. Is that clear?
Oh, that's a thing now? Oh, that sucks.
Especially charity cases.
Oh,
Easy.
I cover your mouth. I grip.
What are your plans?
Survival?
Well, you have 3 options. You can stay here and be in the middle of the single largest united force of monsters since, well, the last time you were around. You can head east over the mountain range to the desert.
Was it a desert?
It was a desert.
Okay.
To the desert and hope the halflings take you in. It was not inhabited by halflings at that time.
Okay.
You can try your luck over the mountain range and head to Gundaren, which is a city you've never heard of, or nation, or whatever that is. Nation of Gundaren. But since no one's come in and out of there in the past 5 months since the war started, or you can go south, head to the fort at St. Armand, and see if you can make it to Zawar.
Is there an option about joining you?
Yeah, you seem pretty cool.
Can you fly?
No.
Then no.
I'm very small. I can ride on backs.
I don't know what you think your race is, but as far as we're concerned in the modern age, not worth much. Stop talking.
You're very much worth it to us. It's okay.
Ah,
I just
harsh
reach down and I
much.
like pat your head.
I'm like,
Right, so before you dick off and fly away, as you clearly seem to, no, I'm not saying that you're gonna do it whether we say so or not. It's just
I'm not. She's not smiling. I am.
Like, one quick question: what's the safest route to get to what the Saint what? Because that
St. Armand's.
Saint, because I'm guessing that wasn't in our time.
No.
Yeah, to Saint Armand's.
St. Armand's Fort. Go along the river. We've been hitting their positions.
Well, thank you for clearing a relatively safe path for us.
So, like,
You're fucking scary. Impressive. Right, I'll shut up.
We are very much in need of rations and anything that you might be able to spare. I understand that I am...
4 packs of rations are dropped at your feet.
Oh, good job.
We have 100 people to take care of.
And I have a mobile infantry that has to stay on top of their dietary.
Microphone.
I have a mobile infantry that has to stay top of their dietary requirements, sleep safely in enemy territory, and do lightning raids to disrupt refueling lines. That's what you get.
Thank you.
and like, I got a question. So, how scary does it get at like nighttime? Because we noticed that the sun is like totally different nowadays.
Wow. From before he died.
Right.
Yeah, like I told you so.
You don't know who's in control these days, who the new high god is.
Oh.
Like, okay, could you fill us in?
Shira. Yeah.
So what's the sitch?
That exact moment, all of you should be going cold because Shira, S-H-I-R-A, so Shira, is the name of your god of death.
Okay. Oh.
You're questions about this?
Yeah, like what's the sitch? Because that's just like,
Well,
fucked up.
When evil died and when good died, everyone prayed to the one universal constant.
Right,
Death.
so it's our fault. Their fault. People's faults. Right.
And she rose. Now is the goddess of the sun, of law, and death.
because people needed something to believe in.
And so,
Right.
so I guess you didn't really answer the question of, like, so what happens when the sun goes down?
The moon god rises, and you hope that you lay within his deceptions. I'm not here to
Is
give
he the
you
same out of curiosity?
Yeah, did that
I'm
one die?
gonna give you the name of him, okay?
Yep.
Okay, she's like, I'm not here to give you a primer on religious theology. I have work to do.
We're just military
Guys.
people. We need to know what our
Fill
enemies
them
are.
in. And she points to her second in command. He nods. And she takes this guy, and half of her squadron's already leaving.
I like your goggles.
Thank you.
I
It's
feel
a
so
rare privilege to
respected.
meet a civilized goblin.
Thank
There you are,
you.
someone
You're
who
very
knows
welcome.
his respects. Right?
Beg your pardon?
Someone who knows his respects. You're a good man. That's all.
That's debatable.
Can I put down my hands?
I don't see why not.
Oh, thank you. Right. So yeah, moon god.
Right.
Still the same? You don't
No. Well, no, you. No, actually. The current god of the moon is Malin, god of deception and lies and trickery. As the only way to evade death is to trick it.
So you're gonna have a hard time sorting all this out. You're gonna need a book, I think.
So vexing.
Yes, I would imagine a complete reshuffling of one's cosmology would be.
Microphone.
Cosmology would be very, very trying.
Yeah, like, it's really giving me a downer.
I love this so much. Anyway, in order to
You don't need to keep your hands up. You know that,
Right. Yes. Right. Sorry.
I mean, you guys are just really scary, so...
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of the package deal with our commander.
Yeah.
So
Like, what's the deal with her? Like,
Yeah.
what happened?
Is she with anyone? Like she, and what I mean by that is like an ally of anyone. Why is she here? If we're surrounded by.
She's like 13.
Is it a safer answer to say yes if she throws fireballs at me? So, no.
Lady Liliandra is the inheritor of the estate, and
I'm more curious why she's attacking this entire area and if she's doing it for someone or for herself.
she's doing it for the nation. Zawar.
Yeah, I kind of got that message.
I'm sorry.
It was-
Zawar has sort of become the center of civilization.
That's the ultimate answer I was looking for.
And as such, the Elvish cities have kind of consolidated into one. You'll understand what that's like when you get there.
Are non-elves welcome there?
Goblins are, and half-orcs are still general. Well, goblins less so now, but half-orcs are generally seen as the victims of not the offensive assault.
Towards the microphone.
Victims of assault. It's not uncommon in war times for that sort of thing to come about.
And so, what about, like, me?
Get off. Scurry up and hug you.
Well, considering you're kind of the human race now. Humans are something of an endangered species. It's more common to find half-elves now than humans.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Longer lifespan. Also, well, what happened to everyone's gods.
And so, like, I do need to know, we're, like, got, like, 100 people that are going to be coming up on nighttime. What kind of precautions do you recommend?
Stick to the river. There shouldn't be any encampments that are bothering you because we've been going up and down along the river.
Microphone.
We've been taking care of encampments along the river. Encampments along the river. Due to the fact that before St. Armand's was founded, they were using it as a resupply point to get out and come across and attack Zawar. We've been finally making counterattacks accordingly.
You can put it back on.
I can't. It's actually stuck like this.
There you go.
I've done it. I send a message to Craig. I'm like, okay, come back.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Send another message.
we'll get to that in a
Okay.
second. But if you make your way down to St. Armand's, I don't even know who St. Armand is. Easily get port and make your way to the war. The 13th Legion's always taking soldiers, so.
Okay, good to know.
Wouldn't mind that.
It's not the best career, but if you want to move up in the military, the 13th's your best shot.
A little bit of normalcy. Okay. Right.
Do you advise against traveling at night?
It's the same as the daytime. In fact, sometimes it's safer at night. Forget, death sets when the sun sets.
So wait, are you like? Can you like? Silly question. Can you still die at night?
Oh yeah, you die all 24 hours.
I mean, it's the god of the sun, so like if the sun goes away, death goes away. It's not unreasonable.
I understand that,
Well,
but
there's that whole round planet theory where even if the sun's on the other side, it's still there.
Only crazy people believe that.
Right, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I've got bad news for all of you about that, but okay.
The planet's around?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, it's just really big.
Just kidding, it has an elephant at the end.
It does not have an elephant at the end.
What kind of world is this? Give me your sword. Right, so thank her for us if she accepts that kind of thing. And,
Tom, what was the name I gave you for the Elvish hero?
You didn't give me the name of the Elvish hero.
you just told us about the Elvish set.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was
Cool. You should know. Asarian was his name.
Sorry, right? Yeah.
Yes, but Lady Leandra is the inheritor of Asarian's will, the one who united the Elvish people after the death of our goddess.
Oh.
It was under Asarian's batter that
so that's why she's following his like MO.
Yes, she's his heir. I'm gonna say his daughter.
Oh, because like what he did and what she's doing, or like.
I cover your mouth again.
Yeah, you notice that as you're starting to talk down, that while the second in command kind of has the leeway to have that opinion, not everyone else does.
I look.
Not everyone else does.
I'm like, sorry.
New here, right? Ignorance.
But the god of dwarves is long gone. God of elves is gone.
I was never religious in the first place. It's all right. But thank you.
All of the racial gods have passed since the war.
Oh.
Well, they were all killed during the war.
Including the ones for full orcs?
Monster races didn't have a god.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Jake.
Yeah.
You're all godless sinners now.
Yay!
So how does that explain that that I felt a connection?
Why don't you ask him?
Okay. So like, are you sure?
Pretty sure.
I mean, because like I tried to commune with the elven goddess, and like she
That would be-
responded.
Well, she couldn't have. What you probably felt was the effect of Saint Armand. Saint Armand was the first paladin of the New Age. He founded the Golden City of Gundren, the one she was telling you about, and made it possible through the sacrifice of his life to allow paladins and clerics to access the domains without need of going through a god.
Oh,
It's something of ideals instead of a god.
Okay, a bit of a bummer, but I got to use my powers. Okay.
Yes. They call it the miracle of Saint Armand. That's why you'll always see.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Yeah.
Just quickly, you wouldn't happen to have any like light medicinal herbs or anything, would you?
Yeah.
Casting
Are
on
you still with
ourselves.
healing?
Well, besides that, it's just my.
We have to get going either way.
Drink
Yeah.
less. Drink less.
No, I'm alright.
Okay.
We're almost done. But heads off. Bows politely. Men, follow! They all take it to the guy.
let Craig know that that's okay.
Send a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. You can come now. Okay, just bring everyone over.
Ignore the flying people.
Ignore the flying people. They're fine.
For the next 2 days, you make your way down to the fort of St. Armand's, which is a very quickly assembled fort. There isn't so much of stone walls. There are wooden palisades, and I can't remember what the name of the spiky fucking things are. But there's makeshift docks, small huts, and such. And very quickly, you start sending people over to the War by boat. You decide not to settle here. You just said, okay, we're getting the hell out. Okay. Well, actually, where did you all want to go?
Well, yeah, like Zawar.
Okay,
it makes sense to go to the place where we're not going to get raided constantly.
Yeah. Yes. So, and you've been sending them over boat by boat to Zawar.
And they've been accepted.
Yeah, because they're like, the amount of refugees coming into Zawar now, due to the war, is just another thing, and they need...
What's the state of this city, the Golden City?
Gundren? You're not at Gundren.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so
you're at St. Armand's.
St. Armand's, which is a fort.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
it's a quickly assembled fort. Wizards have clearly cast stone to make fortifications. It's all been done very quickly, so there isn't really like proper roads or anything like that. It's a lot of base camps, food, and whatever little...
Is there a general feeling that this sort of continent area is being abandoned?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Or has already been abandoned. This is just a fort encampment. A lot of barracks.
Which now makes sense why Lady Liliandra is sort of like going in and out and sweeping things away. Okay. All right. So.
And a few days later, Liliandra and her troops come in, and they actually head back to Zawar. And the rumors are starting to circulate as the last of your people are leaving, because I'm assuming you all choose to leave last.
Yeah.
They're pulling out of the fort entirely because the king of Zawar has just died.
Oh.
So they're pulling back forces to consolidate in Zawar, as the current regent, the princess, is consolidating her forces in the nation.
Oh, okay.
So, when the last of the ships are leaving, the last of the ships are... You don't leave with the last of the ships, you leave a little bit before that on one of the ancillary ships. As you're leaving, you're heading a little bit east, along the coast to avoid any encampments, because there is a huge mountain range that divided your continent. About that. And you expect to see something. Along this mountain range facing the coast, there was a fort called the Shield Wall. If you've ever traveled along the coast for any reason, you would have seen this fort. It's a massive structure, castle, huge battlements. It was a symbol of peace and defense. Travel across it, you don't see the fort. You see a skull. A massive skull mounted within the stone facing itself. And a few of the people are making various religious symbols on their chest when they see it. You're welcome to talk to the captain or anyone else about what that is.
How big is it?
Size of a castle, I'd say at least a good... how do I put this? Let's say this is the whole mountain range. It's that big.
It's a humanoid skull?
No, it's not.
What shape is the skull?
It looks humanoid at first, but there's jagged teeth coming out of the bottom of it. Its eyes are slanted. The slot of its eyes are slanted in a weird way, and it's almost like its horns make a crown. I've seen that kind of formation before.
Okay. I'm gonna say, bet you any gold. It's the god of death.
God of demons and devils.
Yeah, demons and devils. Sorry.
And the exact formation of that crown of horns matches his head. Make a perception roll.
Okay.
17.
Anyone who got over a 15 noticed this.
Damn it.
No birds are landing on it.
Ooh.
At all. In fact, they're actively avoiding it. You're welcome to ask anyone why that is.
I'll walk over to the captain and say, so, Captain.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's Demon's Head.
Why are the birds avoiding it?
Because it's a demi-lich.
Say what?
It's a demi-lich.
That.
It's a demi-lich.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Guys, say hello to your first mega dungeon. And we'll end that there.
Wow. Very cool.
With that, I give you all the, hopefully, first, if not only, session into the world of Angoriah, which I have worked on for a little time. I'm Big Mike.
I'm Devin. Tom?
We will be back next month for Sam's Regime Diabolique game, which she will be running, and then after that, Devin is running Shadowrun, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
We'll have more announcements going forward. As always, next week you will be seeing the next and actually last episode for a while, episode of D20 Live's Ravenloft game, which you will be seeing. You should have seen today for Patreon fans, of course. But until then, have fun.